Have you ever wondered if it's possible to break free from all the weight that the past keeps piling on your shoulders? No more regrets, no grudges, no lingering hurts that hold us back. Clinging to what's behind us is like carrying around a heavy load eventually. It slows us down and steals some of the happiness we could be enjoying right now. But there's a smarter way to live, and that's what the philosophy of Stoicism teaches us. It guides us on how to put that baggage down, how to let it go, because letting go is a crucial skill in Stoic living. Today, I want to walk you through how to actually do that properly. And it all starts with acceptance. That's where the journey to peace begins. The early Stoics understood the power of accepting things as they are. They emphasized that we should recognize what's outside our control and accept it because stressing over what we can't change only drains our energy. Instead, we need to direct our focus wisely toward what we can influence. Think about it like this. If a vase shatters, it's now broken. Worrying about the accident won't fix it, but you can learn from it. You can analyze how it happened, why it broke, and how you might prevent something like that from happening again. You can clear up the mess and perhaps be more cautious next time. That's the kind of firm, practical mindset Stoicism encourages, focusing on what's within your power and understanding that some things, like the vase, are beyond your reach to undo. It's all too easy to fall into the trap of replaying past moments over and over in our minds, wishing we'd done things differently. We think things like, "I should have trusted my gut," or "if only I'd sold that investment before it tanked," and then the self-criticism kicks in. We start calling ourselves stupid, losing sleep, growing anxious and testy. But ask yourself, how much energy are these regrets actually costing you? That same energy could be better spent learning a new skill, starting a business, or simply being present with your loved ones. The Stoic Way doesn't ask us to deny that mistakes happened or act like they don't matter. Instead, it's about acknowledging them. We learn from what they teach you, and then making a conscious decision to release that weight. Accept what's done is done and move forward. It's the first step in letting go. Marcus Aurelius summed this up perfectly with his reminder that our power lies in how we control our minds, not in outside events. When we understand this, we find strength. We refuse to let our past define us. Instead, we allow it to refine us. We stay rooted in the present because, at the end of the day, that's the only moment we truly have. So, the starting point is to understand why something from the past is holding us back, what emotional grip it still has on us. Once we've identified that, we then need to think about what mental story we're telling ourselves about it. Our stories shape how we see the world, how we feel, and even how we react. Think about an event like someone cutting you off in traffic. At face value, it's just an event, a neutral thing. But the story you tell yourself about it determines your feelings. If you see it as that person deliberately trying to ruin your day, you'll likely feel anger and frustration. But if you consider they might be rushing to the hospital, your emotions could shift to understanding or indifference. That's where the real power lies. Because if our feelings depend on the stories we tell ourselves, then we're in the driver's seat. Changing those stories can change how we feel. Maybe someone doesn't text back and our natural first thought is, "No one cares about me." But a more stoic, resilient story would be, "They're probably busy right now. It doesn't reflect my worth." Whether or not you get a reply, you know you'll be okay, and that mindset makes you stronger. It's about owning your response, even if you can't control what initially happened. Reflect on a time you felt wronged. What story did you tell yourself? Did that story empower you or make you feel like a victim? Now, you have the power to craft a new story that's uplifting, and that puts your needs and growth first. How do you go about rewriting these stories? It starts by asking yourself powerful, insightful questions. What did I learn from this? How can I grow because of it? What opportunities are still out there waiting for me? These questions shift your focus from dwelling on the past to looking forward. They help you uncover potential you never saw before. Marcus Aurelius once wrote that every new beginning comes from some other ending. What he meant is that reinvention isn't failure rates a sign of strength. It shows you've learned something and are ready to grow again. Life, after all, is always changing. Acceptance of that truth is vital. Sometimes we must adapt to the circumstances life throws our way. It takes courage, though. Think of a potter working with clay. If the clay cracks or collapses, they don't just toss it away. They reshape it, add water, start again. And often, the second version of that clay becomes even more beautiful and resilient. We have that same ability. We can rework ourselves, mold new habits, and come out stronger. But this process can be blocked by a common fear, the fear of what other people think. That fear can freeze us in our tracks, stopping us from growth and progress. How often do we hold back because we're worried about reputation, about judgment, about what others might say? But what if our reputation is just an illusion, a projection of our insecurities? What if those fears aren't based on reality but on worries we've internalized? Ask yourself, are these fears actually supported by facts, or are they just anxieties? The worst thing that could happen if you stop caring about external validation is a brief moment of discomfort, an eyebrow raised, a whisper in the background that will fade, just like everything else. And when you choose to prioritize your well-being over those fleeting fears, the reward is vast. You gain the freedom to be yourself, to chase your true passions, and to live a life rooted in your values, no matter what others think or say. Seneca famously asked, "How long will you wait?" And it's a question worth pondering. How long will you wait before you start living your best life? Stoicism teaches us that our worth isn't tied to outside approval. It's not about the past, either. Your history is like a museum, something to visit for lessons and reflection, but certainly not a place to stay. Reflection brings wisdom, but dwelling traps us in old pain. Sometimes the best move is to step back from unhelpful thoughts, disengage, and focus on the present. That takes practice, but it's entirely doable. You can do this by talking to friends, writing down your thoughts, or even seeking help from a mental health professional. Creating mental space where there once was just clutter is a powerful step. Another powerful way to move forward from the past is to fill your time with new activities. Explore hobbies and interests you've never tried before that are unrelated to your old story. Incorporating mindfulness helps too. Paying attention to your breath, your body, and your surroundings keeps you anchored in the now. A wandering mind can lead to unhappiness, so practicing mindfulness puts you back in control. Remember what the Stoic philosopher Seneca said: every master was once a beginner. Even the best have failed many times. Modern writers like Stephen McCraney remind us that failure isn't the opposite of success, it's part of the path to success. Every setback is a stepping stone to learning and growth. Patience plays a crucial role here. It's not about being perfect overnight, but about making steady, consistent effort. Some days will feel like you're not making any progress at all. That's perfectly normal. It's part of the process. The key is to keep showing up, keep practicing, and remind yourself of your goal, inner peace through acceptance and detachment. Growth isn't always a straight line. There will be days when you struggle. When that happens, don't be too hard on yourself. Instead, learn from those mistakes and press forward. Every mistake is a lesson, a chance to improve. Aim for progress, not perfection. Small, regular steps matter more than huge leaps, and they build momentum. Ask yourself, what would I do if I knew no one was keeping score? What if all the pressures and fears of judgment just disappeared? That's where your true core lies. Free from external validation, you can find your true north, a guiding light inside that's rooted in your values and authentic self. Many people spend so much time chasing approval, getting promotions, buying things they don't really need, trying to fit into molds that aren't theirs all because they want others to approve of them. But true fulfillment, the Stoics say, comes from within. It's about living aligned with your core values, regardless of whether others applaud or criticize. External validation is a trap. It makes us puppets, controlled by others' opinions and expectations. The real antidote is intrinsic motivation. Doing what's right because it matters to you deep down, because it fuels your purpose and passion. Your life is your story to write. To do that well, you need to understand what truly matters to you: integrity, family, service, whatever it is, and let that be your compass. When your actions align with your values, you can stay steady even when life gets tough. Then you set specific goals. What do you want to achieve in your career, in your relationships? Don't just aim for vague notions like "I want to be happy." Get clear: what makes me happy? What steps can I take to feel that way? Break those goals down into smaller, manageable actions. Instead of trying to change everything at once, focus on one small thing you can do today, this week, this month, that gets you closer to your goal. Small steps add up. Celebrate each bit of progress because it builds momentum. Remember, the biggest journeys start with just one step. So don't wait for the perfect moment. Start now with what you have. Be the stoic leader in your own life. Each small action you take creates momentum, and momentum breeds real, lasting change. Don't overthink it. Taking action is more important than endless planning. Overthinking can freeze us in place, making us feel overwhelmed and stuck. When we do that, we miss out on life's joys and lose touch with the present. Walt Disney said, "The way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing," and he hits the nail on the head. Movement itself sparks momentum, and clarity comes from action, not from more thinking. Even imperfect efforts are progress. Better to act than to endlessly analyze. Keep moving toward your goals, no matter how small each step is. Imagine a giant boulder that's way too hefty to move with a single push. But with consistent effort over time, it starts to roll. Small, steady attempts are more powerful than huge, dramatic gestures. Dale Carnegie put it beautifully: inaction fuels doubt and fear, while action builds confidence and courage. Success isn't about one big leap, but about many small wins stacking up. Every step forward reduces your anxiety and makes future progress even easier. Create habits that support your goals, things that make you feel in control. These habits help you accept what's uncertain and make it easier to let go of what you can't change. The secret is to have a plan and action roadmap. Write down your challenges. What's in my control? What's outside my control? Once you have clarity, set small, realistic goals that you can tackle one at a time. Don't try to do everything all at once. They'll just overwhelm you. Small victories, though, build confidence and keep you moving forward. Find someone you trust, a friend or family member, and ask them to check in on your progress regularly. Accountability helps turn good intentions into real action. Be specific with your plans and then commit to following through. Remember, small, consistent steps are what make true change possible. As Seneca famously said, each day is a tiny life, so use yours wisely. What can you do today? Maybe journal your fears, practice mindful breathing, or simply reach out to someone you trust. Small actions pile up and lead to significant change over time. The goal is to turn these small acts into lasting habits, positive feedback loops that reinforce your growth. Good habits can reshape how you see the world, how you react, and even how your body feels. Like exercise, which releases feel-good endorphins that lower stress, or meditation and mindfulness that help calm your mind and focus on what's within your control. Pick one to start today. Incorporate it into your daily routine and watch how your life begins to shift. Because the core teaching of Stoicism is simple: do what you can with what you have. Focus your efforts on those areas where you truly have influence. Knowing what's within your sphere of control and what isn't is the real key. As Epictetus said, the main task in life is to identify those things and to know which is which. This awareness is the foundation of practical Stoic living. Imagine you're stuck in traffic, late for an important meeting. Your frustration rises, and you start honking without any effect. That's the moment a Stoic recognizes that honking and stressing are useless, outside your control. Instead, turn inward. Contact the conference organizer and let them know you're running late. Take action in the realm where you do have power. That's how you begin your journey of letting go. You hold the power, and you can choose how to respond. Don't wait for ideal conditions, those rarely happen anyway. Just start with what you have today. To make real progress, create a simple plan. Write down what you want to release, then think about how you can do that. Break big goals into tiny, doable steps. Don't try to do everything at once. That's overwhelming. Celebrate small wins and build accountability by telling someone about your plans. Ask them to check in on you. This helps you stay honest with yourself and keeps your efforts alive. Remember, every small step moves you closer to freedom. Believe in your capacity to change. Embrace the art of letting go because it's one of the most powerful skills you can develop. The journey might be tough, but it's freeing. Picture lifting a huge weight off your shoulders. Feel the lightness, see the strength you gain. Let go of what you cannot control and focus on what's truly yours: your choices, your attitude, your internal state. That's real Stoic freedom. Start now. Take one small action today, perhaps write about your fears, reach out to a friend, or practice some mindful breathing and keep building from there. You're capable of creating your future, step by step. Remember, you have untapped sources of strength inside you. It's always within reach, waiting for you to activate it. So begin today and begin boldly. Let go of the pain and regrets from the past and move forward into the life you truly deserve.